Hello everybody, Travis again, Figure Around and Find Out. Thank you for clicking on our video. And in this video, we're going to talk about a method of fig preservation, which, if you have a number of trees that produce well, you will quickly run into the issue of figuring out what in the hell to do with them all, because prolific producing trees make a lot of fruit, and figs don't last very long raw. You know, that's why you never see them raw in the produce section at the store or at the farmer's market. Not that I've ever seen anyway. Someplace with more fig plants, you might see that, like somewhere in the Mediterranean or the Middle East. Possibly, I don't know. That's just me talking out of my ass. But last year, we had our brown turkey out front, which, coincidentally, if this sinking wall were not in front of me, I could probably reach out and touch from here. It's just right outside my kitchen window here at Kilgore's Landing. Anyway, last year we put up, I think Heather said, 3.5 gallons or some shit of fig preserves. And we do intend to put some up this year. We like them ourselves, the preserves. They make great gifts. You know, handmade, homemade gifts are cool anyway. But when it's something a little bit exotic, like fig preserves, you know, that's not... I'm sure you can find them in the store somewhere, but that's not something you're just gonna... You couldn't bop up here to the food line and go to the jam and jelly section and have a reasonable expectation of finding fig preserves right there by your Smucker's jam and Welch's grape jelly. But, so anyway, we made a bunch of fig preserves last year, and we'll likely make some again this year. But I think the majority of them, depending on how many figs I have access to, which may be up in the air this year. One of the trees I had access to last year may or may not be going away. Not the tree, but my access to it. And, but then again, I gained access to another couple of trees yesterday, and I had actually done a video about that, but then my phone or SD card, one or the other, shat the bed. I believe I have said in more than one video on this channel that I'm not super technologically savvy, so I haven't really gotten into that yet to figure it out. But anyway, if I continue to have access to a lot of figs, and I hope to have access to a lot of figs, this year we will certainly put some preserves up because we like them and because they make great gifts. But I think the majority of what we harvest this year are going to be dried. And the reason is it's simpler than preserves. Just kind of looking at things chronologically or some sort of logically. And so it's simpler. It's something I can do rather than having to rope Heather into making preserves. Not that it's much of an imposition. Asking Heather to make preserves is about as offensive to her as asking me to play Metallica on the guitar. But the biggest reason, logically speaking, why I'm going to do it that way is because figs, once dried, if they are stored in an airtight container, say like a vacuum seal bag type thing, they'll keep for 2 years. And they are way more versatile than fig preserves. Because once you've got preserves, you've got preserves. And you do preserved things with them. And preserved things are good. They're great on biscuits. Fig preserves on a baked brie, oh my God. With some nice baguette or biscotti crackers. Bellissimo. But you're kind of limited to shit like that. To whereas dried figs, there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of recipes and shit you can make with dried figs, because as I mentioned earlier, the fresh fruit doesn't last worth a damn. So you dry them, and then you've got time to figure out other stuff to do with them. So drying figs is going to be our way this year, I do believe. Now, sorry, Heather's coming in from outside and she startled Bear, our little dog. So, to dehydrate figs, a dehydrator would probably work. We intend to get one. When we do, I'll likely do a video about doing figs in the dehydrator. But until then, take your fig, which this did not come from my brown turkey out there, and you cut. If it didn't pop off when you picked it, yeah, these all have it. Well, that one, see the little stem part up at the top is going. If it's not going, slice that off, and then take the fig. And I like to look at it and find the profile that's the most symmetrical. Like if I cut it that way, it would be lopsided to that side. But if you find the most symmetrical profile and just straight down the middle. See? Now, as with many things here on Figure Around and Find Out, this is an experiment. Last year, when I did this, I followed, yeah, hey, come on in, baby. We ain't that damn serious here at Figure Around and Find Out. Everybody say hi to Heather. You hear people on YouTube land saying, hi, Heather.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, God goes well.
What do you got, babe?
This is, remember I had to cut back the blooms because they were infected. This is the first healthy one to come off of it.
Very nice. Heather grows roses of various colors. And
and I planted our whole front yard full of bush beans.
And she likes her roses. So anyway, the recipe or directions for the way I did them last year was to take the rack out of the oven, line it with tin foil, you know, wrap it around the ends to secure it, then take ye old knife and, you know, up and down the line and make some slits in the tin foil. Cut your figs in half, as I have just demonstrated. And I'm also not being super critical about finding the most symmetrical profile here. They're all going to be dried up when they're done, and they're going to be poop after that, so it's not that damn critical. But anyway, prep them, cut the tops off if needed, slice them, and put them cut side up onto the tin foil on the rack, prepared as I just described. Turn your oven on as low as it will go without actually being off, which on my oven, which is one of these fancy newfangled digital jobs, happens to be 170 degrees. Put it in the middle rack of your oven. Let me change camera directions here. Let's see how that is. Yeah. So change, put the figs cut side up on the tin foil prepared as I described a moment ago, and 8 hours in the oven on the lowest possible setting with the oven cracked just a little bit. When I was a kid, 47 years old, when I was a kid, mayonnaise came in glass jars with metal lids. And any recipe that required a stove to be cracked open, your metal lid was the go-to. We now live in this brave new world where the mayonnaise all has plastic lids. And I believe we're all poorer for it in a number of ways. But I believe I'll either use a spoon, or I think last time I used a wadded up ball of tinfoil. But anyway, this year, and I'll show you when I finish getting them arranged here. I'm trying to give them a little room to breathe. This year, instead of putting them on tinfoil spread over the racks, at least this time, depending how it works, I am going to, well, I am currently putting them on parchment paper. Here, parchment paper on a cookie sheet, because I remember when I did it last year thinking, you know, I think this tinfoil stuff is unnecessary, because it really is a pain in the ass to do that. So this time, and like I say, last year we only dehydrated one batch. Dehydrated 4 pounds, 4 wet pounds worth, and they didn't make it through the day. They got snacked. I don't know what the dry weight was, but over the course of 24 hours, I ate all 4 wet pounds worth. No regrets. Those dehydrated figs are really friggin' good. Fresh is better, of course, but dehydrated ain't bad. So I made up my mind last year when I tried that recipe to try this cookie sheet and parchment paper method. So I am. And if by chance there's not a follow-up video to this, you know what? There needs to be a follow-up video. I take that back. I will try to make sure to do a follow-up video. Even if it's only a quick one to say, hey, it's Travis here, the figs sucked. Or, hey, it's Travis here, the figs fucking ruled. But I really don't see putting them on the tinfoil with the slits. I guess the slits that you poked in the tinfoil were probably there to allow airflow from the underside of the fig. But I mean, realistically, and I did it just as the directions said. Realistically, I just don't know how damn much airflow it got like that. Because you're talking one tiny little slit in the back of the fig pressed against it. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to figure around and find out. Now, hang on here. I have these 4 figs here, and these came from the 2 trees that I mentioned earlier that I gained access to yesterday. Tomorrow it'll be time to go have another look. Because once a fig tree gets rolling, every couple 3 days, party time. But anyway, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, these did not come from my tree. These came from a new tree. Fucking ants, are you kidding me? Hang on. Little bastards followed me in from outside. There. Get them in there, you little motherfuckers. So, anyway, my tree continues to put on great goddamn big figs. I'm saving those 4 for my bandmates. Heather and I are in a band called the Scarlet Love Conspiracy. If you're curious, that's Scarlet with a 1 T, the color, not the name, like the Red Love Conspiracy, but the Scarlet Love Conspiracy. Our rhythm guitar player, Mark, has never had a fresh fig, and I can't remember if Kat and Eric, my drummer and guitar player, care for them or not. So anyway, I'm going to take some figs, and Mark's going to try his first fresh fig. Cat and Eric may or may not. I will see. But anyway, yeah, my fig, I got one more that's out there still on the tree, and it's gigantic. Oh, then it was right. Bring it here. Bring it here. No, that's fine.
I was checking it.
No, that's fine. Heather literally touched it to check it. Now look. Hang on. So this is the biggest of the figs that I got from the new trees yesterday. And look at that son of a bitch. Look at that. See the size difference? And this isn't even the biggest one
on our tree
of what it's put on. So my brown turkey never did this before. The figs were mostly, you get one a little bit bigger than this, but mostly golf ball size. Leading up to this. This year, the Brebas at least, they get within a few days of ripening, and they're golf ball sized and hard and dark green like the rest of them. And then within a few days of ripening, they just go and just double in size. But anyway, I'm gonna let Cat and Eric and Mark try some figs, show them my fig, brag a little bit. Here is, all right, now the camera's still in selfie mode, so I'm assuming this is all getting in the shot. Here they are prepared, and I'm going to try this method and see how it works. Now, before I turn the camera around, here's my little nursery. That's the 3 little Walmart babies from a few videos ago where we potted them on the porch. Still got a leaf on this one. I'm keeping the soil damp. I'm hoping things go well. There's our Bosnian cutting, one of them. There's the little nursery from which those came. Still trying to get some roots on those. That's my Mississippi Mojo fig. Let's see. All right, now let's put these things in the oven. Turn this around. Righty. What time is it? Anyway, I'll figure out 8 hours. So, anyway, yeah, there's prepping some dehydrated figs. Hopefully it works out well. Keep your eyes peeled for a follow-up video, possibly later today if things go well. So anyway, as always, I'm Travis from Fig Around and Find Out. Thank you for clicking on our video. I'm embarrassed. My dog is being a nimnut in the front yard, and Heather's hollering at him. Yeah, I think he's about to go poop in the neighbor's yard. He loves doing that. Good boy. Oh, hey, unrelated. Check that out. New ink. That's part of a 2-part father and son Metallica tattoo that James, one of my sons, and I got Tuesday a week ago. For those of you not in the South, Tuesday a week ago means Tuesday was a week since it happened. But this is from a song called My Apocalypse. And it says, see through the skin, the bones, they all rattle, future and past, they disagree. James's is on his left arm, so that when we go fist bump like that, you get the rest of the line, which is flesh falls away, the bones, they all shatter. I start to see the end in me. And his is tattooed inside bones like that. But his bones are shattered all to shit because he had broken his arm on a trampoline several years ago. So we happened to be in a car together when that tattoo idea was born. I came up with the first part. He came up with the second part. And he was 16. I said, son, if you still want that when you're 18, we'll get it. Well, he turned 18 with a plague going on, so I had to wait till he was 19. But yeah, father and son Metallica tattoos, which, you know, I got the M on my hand, the James Hetfield skull ring, son named James. I'm an unabashed fanboy. And yes, I know that the bones were supposed to be that way. There was a bit of a miscommunication between me and the guy who drew it up. Not the tattoo artist, but the guy who drew it. He thought I was talking about on this arm. So taking that image and putting it on the inside of my arm, the radial head would have been back here. I was talking about here. Miscommunication, and unfortunately, neither I nor my tattoo artist were familiar enough with human anatomy to go, hey, those are backwards, asshole. But it doesn't matter. It's still a cool tattoo. It's not as if it's anatomically correct anyway, like to size. But anyway, enough about that. Dehydrating figs. See how it goes. And thank you for clicking our video. Click subscribe, click the bell, and see what other kind of foolishness we can get up to around here. Coming to you live from beautiful and scenic Rossville, Georgia, just across the state line from beautiful and scenic East Ridge, Tennessee. Travis can figure around and find out. Thank you for watching.